Hello, and welcome back to the channel. You join me inside the Toyota IQ. I've had this car about 6 months now, just over, so I thought good time to do a 6-month ownership update. If anybody's not seen the car first video, I would maybe drop that below. Check the channel when I first got the car, when it was the deep dark depths of Scottish winter. And this car done pretty well. I've driven it on the A9 when it was snowing. As long as you stay inside lane and you're doing about 40 in the kind of slow tracks, it seemed to do well. I wouldn't worry there. Also, it's not really needed much more than one expense at the beginning. After I think 4 weeks of owning it, it needed a new exhaust, which was a shame. It is a 2009 car. It had about 51,000 miles at that point. In this period of ownership, I've done a good 4,000 miles maybe in 6 months. So it's not a great deal of mileage in the car. It's been my main daily transport, so it has been, the bulk of the miles have been on this. I've averaged about 50.7 to a gallon over that time period as well. So the reach-up computer tells you that. I know some people are going to say, is that the real MPG? Because that's just what the screen's telling me. I've not done the maths with regards to filling it up, deducting the mileage, etc. But yeah, it's been pretty efficient. Downside to the car, interior lighting. There is like a lack of lighting, and not ambient lighting, but just lighting when you open the door at night. We've got a little kind of twisty pod thing here that is, yeah, it's quite limiting, that little pod with regards to interior lighting. It's like a searchlight helicopter trying to find anything you drop in the car. Never mind getting your seatbelt on when it's pitch black, especially if it's not a well lit street or car park. I do like some of the features in this car that you wouldn't maybe expect. So the electronic wing mirrors like fold in. I like the fact you can just touch of a button and they fold in, because some tight city streets, if anybody's familiar with Shawlands or the West End of Glasgow, very nice, very tight streets with containment flats, people parking on both sides. It just gives you a little bit of peace of mind that they're not going to get smashed off. Keyless start and keyless entry is quite good as well. I get so used to it, and having that in a smaller car, especially an older car as well. An older, smaller car, not many vehicles will have that. I don't even think the Toyota iGo or the Peugeot 107 Citroen C1 came with that as an option, so that's quite handy to have. It does have the auxiliary cable, no Bluetooth in this car, which is a little bit disappointing. But it pros, easy to park. Did I mention it's easy to park? Turning circle's quite good. You can basically do a U-turn on the street without really having to do a 3-point turn. Yeah, the main downside is the boot space, carrying space. If you're doing shopping, it always ends up in the back seat, and it's quite noisy at motorways as well. That's my honest opinion of it. I've done thousands of miles, I've driven 200-300 miles at a time. Seats aren't as terrible as you'd maybe think for a long journey, especially a continuous 4.5-5 hour drive. Tank range, because it's quite efficient, I can fill it right up and you can do a 200-mile journey and still have some petrol in the tank as well. That's nothing to worry about there. Yeah, it's got the air conditioning and things like that we're only now getting 13-degree weather. So I've lived through the period where it's been 7 degrees, so I've not actually had the need. Temperature wise, I wish I had heated seats. I don't know why the IQ in the UK never got offered that, but I do wish, we've got the blank buttons down here, but I do wish it had that, because these leather seats in the colds, it's just, yeah, you just get the harshness and it's a bit cold, especially if you're, say, in your gym kit. But yeah, other than I said, I was going to look back round to the running costs. Other than the price of the exhaust, which was, say, 500 and something pound, 540, needed the MOT, which was like 55. That's been it, excluding petrol and things like that. It's not, touch wood, it's not required any other assistance. It will be getting hopefully a service soon. Need to check up on that, but yeah, it's been pretty good and reliable, which is what we want from a car like this. It's not the mega miles, but it's been pretty reliable, and it's quite a good little car. Definitely a nice little city jumper, and I quite like the fact you can park it and it fits neatly within a bay, so you don't have to worry about door dings, even though unfortunately this particular car does have a door ding from a previously before I bought it out in the driver's door, so somebody has nicked that at some point. But it's decent little car. I quite like the fact we have a little bit of storage here for cake. Not sure my mum's handbag can fit in here as well, but I use it today for some cake. Probably really for your rear passengers if you've got small legs, your feet could go there. But yeah, decent little bit of storage. Anyway, you've listened to me enough ramble on for almost 5 minutes. Hopefully you guys have all enjoyed this video on the Toyota IQ ownership. If you have, give me a like, subscribe to the channel below if you've not done so already, and I will see you next video. Ciao.